before you is Samantha Raylene Ritchie, born September 4th, 1990 in Dayton, Ohio, to Denton and Teresa Jolene Ritchie. On July 18, 1995, Teresa called 911 to report her daughter Missy. Samantha's disappearance made local news and led to people volunteering to search, where 4 days later, she was discovered in a water-filled pit of an abandoned foundry near where she lived. After 2 weeks of investigation, Teresa and a next-door neighbor, Ernest Vernell Brooks, were brought in for questioning, and it was here where Ernest gave a shocking confession. Turns out, just before Teresa made that 911 call, Samantha had walked in on her and Ernest having sex. Enraged by this, Teresa Ritchie then struck Samantha with a cast she was wearing at the time before taking a wrench and striking her again. Realizing that she had just murdered her child out of anger, she then, along with Ernest Brooks' help, disposed of Samantha's body in the place where she was discovered 4 days later. In exchange for his testimony, Ernest Brooks pled guilty to abuse of a corpse, obstruction, and tampering with evidence, where he would receive a 5-year sentence. Teresa Ritchie, who played victim throughout this whole entire thing, was sentenced to 15 years to life, plus an additional 7 years. Since Samantha's tragic murder, in October of 2005, Ernest Brooks was arrested for rape of a minor, where he received a 20-year sentence. But 7 years into it, he died while in prison. Teresa Jolene Ritchie is still in jail at the Ohio Reformatory for Women in Marysville, Ohio, where she has been denied parole twice. Her next appearance is in 2030. Let's pray she's denied again. Samantha Raylene Ritchie is buried at the Bear Creek Hillgrove Cemetery in Dayton, Ohio. She was an innocent 4 years old.
I knew Jolene Ritchie. I knew Scott Washball, which was her half-brother. I knew their dad, they called him Chief. But Samantha Ritchie was a little girl who lived right down here. She walked in on her mother, Jolene Ritchie, and the neighbor, Vern Brooks. They were on a pile. They were down in the basement on a pile of dirty clothes having sex. And the little girl walked in, and Jolene had a cast on her arm. And she swung back at the little girl. I believe she was 6 at the time. She swung back at the little girl and cracked her skull open and killed her. So they took the body out of the house. They took it over under this bridge and hid it. They threw her in a watery grave and put a big old piece of metal over her. And it was national news. I used to work here too. This used to be ABS. It was national news. Vern Brooks lived right up here. He got convicted. He lived in 702. He got convicted of abuse of a corpse because they carried her across this bridge here. But I'll show you where. They had all kinds of news out here, a big search for days. It was just sort of like Dayton Susan Smith. She lives in that house right there, Samantha Ritchie. Down in the basement there is where they killed her, but they had this whole street looking for her, a whole city was looking for her. If you look up Samantha Ritchie, Dayton, Ohio, that's the house she was killed in down in that basement. And Jolene was sleeping with the neighbor who would come out his back door here and go over and sneak around and mess with her. But they took her body. She got, I think she got 26 years altogether. I don't think she got a life sentence. But, yeah, they carried her body under this bridge here. has been here ever since. This is where they found her body. They threw her in like a water thing here. This used to all be like, and they put a big old piece of steel over top of her. They used to have a picture of her here. She was the cutest little girl, but it had the whole city in uproar. And this company, you know, they have been kind enough to leave this here. It looks like people are still putting fresh stuff here to this day. When Jolene, you know, was caught in the basement by her 6-year-old having sex with a neighbor, she kind of swung around like that and hit her with the cast and just cracked her skull open. They had the whole place in an uproar for a long time. But anyway, well, here's a notorious bike. It's just me, but it was in this basement right here, over here on Herman Avenue in Dayton, where Jolene Ritchie, she's in prison for she's in Marysville. I'm not sure how long she's got left. I don't think she got a life sentence. I think it was like 28 years, maybe. But it was right here in this house, and I will show you. They took her body over to this foundry over here. And a lot of people have covered this. Lamont at Large covered this more in detail when he came to Dayton. But they brought her under this bridge. They carried her body over here. And at the time, this was Select Tool and Die. And it was, now it's Orlicon. But there was water over here, and they were doing some construction work over this area, and it didn't look anything like this, but they threw Samantha's body into a pond over in this area right here, and they put a big old piece of metal. But the family and the people of Dayton have maintained a memorial thing for her. And we're going to take a look at it. And I knew Jolene's brother, Scott.
this is the area where her body was found. You can see where they had a foundation here from older places. Because they built all this back here. Yeah, her body was found right in this area. Samantha Ritchie, Jolene Ritchie, Dayton, Ohio. I just happened to be coming past this area, or I'd have more details on the case. And I thought I would, since I was coming over here, I would stop in and see and show that. Pick up a belt on, put on your seatbelt. I see him, yeah. My car will tell me if I'm about to back into somebody. Actually, it tells you if you're going out of the lanes and everything. If I go out of the lane, then I got a sport mode, it's got a little more boot to it. Hyundai makes a car like a Nissan. There's the house where Brian Brooks lived in it, right there.
We'll let you know. It's Florida.